outside with the tribe. Gang activity outside. Please believe I done seen the other side. Remember all we had to be was alive. Now I got 20 V's in garage. Each house, beach house, overseas in the lodge. That was 30 MGs, every P I prescribed. You can see it in my eyes, don't bother me. I be in the streets on 10 when I'm out.
And if you wish me bad, I swear not back to center. She just love my call me low, if me bother. And if my success they disturb you, go recover. If you no be money, no they call me, no disturbance. I'm alright, I'm alright. Check your time, check calendar. I'm alright, I'm alright. Check your time, check calendar.
Excuse me, mister, I don't know your name. Do you mind if I call you lover? You've been hiding from your pain. You can up under my covers. For you, I do wonders. For you, undercover. Hide me, Mr. Lover. For you, I'm greedy tonight. All on me, I'm needy tonight. I know. I can see it in your eyes. You gon' go where I'm leading tonight. I know. Taking no giving, making selfish decisions tonight. I know. 'Cause tonight I know. Baby, don't waste my time. Don't waste my time on it. It just won't bounce and vibe on it. Eye of trees and breeze, you upon me. Cha-cha slide on it. Taking no giving, making selfish decisions tonight. I know. 'Cause tonight I know. Excuse me, mister, I don't know your name. Do you mind if I call you lover? You've been hiding from your pain. You can up under my covers. For you, I do wonders. For you, undercover. Hide me.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Just quickly, I would like someone to confirm that I'm audible, please. All right, thank you so much. So warm welcome to everyone that has joined once again for our free mental health training. We are so excited to have you here and grateful for everyone that has been able to take time out to be here as well. We'll be having our speaker coming up later on. But for now, we would like to start with the opening prayer to commence it all. So I'll be calling on my colleague Stevens to give the opening prayer. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us for today's free mental health training. It's wonderful to see so many of you here, all committed to taking steps towards personal growth and well-being. Today, we are addressing a topic that many of us experience but may not often discuss openly, which is overcoming imposter syndrome. But before we move on, let's close our eyes for a quick prayer. Dear God, we come together today with gratitude for this opportunity to learn and grow. We ask for wisdom, clarity, and strength as we open our hearts and minds to new insights. May this time together bring us closer to understanding ourselves and one another, guide us towards peace, compassion, and a deeper sense of purpose. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Stevens. One moment. All right. So once again, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Junodu, and I'll be your host for today. So I hope that everyone is super psyched up for our event. Our topic is, as you can see, overcoming imposter syndrome. But before we get into it, I'll be inviting my colleague Henrietta to give us an overview of who we are at ASADS. So Henrietta would love to hear you now.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today on our last mental health training event, Overcoming Imposter Syndrome for the year 2024. So my name is Henrietta, and I am the team lead for ASA's Mental Health Training Department. And I'm sure we all joined through various means, either through Instagram, through WhatsApp, through group chat, or if you were invited by your friends or your siblings or colleagues, whoever. And well, I'm sure we've been wondering who ASAS is and what ASAS is. So ASAS basically stands for Anti-Suicide and Depression Squad, and it is a mental health awareness NGO organization which was founded in 2018 by Dari Asobele. And we are over millions in Nigeria and not up to 1,000 mental health professionals, even for the fact that 40 seconds someone takes their life globally, which is why we have an organization like ASAT, whereby in as much as we don't have the necessary platforms we can reach out to people, the organization is here to educate you on how to recognize mental health, and not just mental health, but also mental illnesses. And if for any reason you're going through anything at all, or you know someone going through something, your friends, your family, your siblings, we have ASAD listeners who are here for you. You can call them, or you can send them a message via the link which will be dropped on the chat box. So please kindly make use of it. And also, if you would like to volunteer in ASAT, there are various departments that are here for you. We have the mental health training department like this. We have the ASAT listeners, like I mentioned earlier on. We have the communication and partnership, HR, so many departments that you can volunteer in for as many months as you want, 3, 6 a year, or you can even extend it if you want. So you can send us an email, the subject being the department you would want to volunteer in, attached with your CV, or you can also send us a message on Instagram or any of the social media platforms you have us in. So please do not forget that ASAS is here for you. We are here for you. We were made for you. So try to make use of us as much as you want. And I hope that through the speaker's presentation, we would be shown how to overcome imposter syndrome and also be who we really are. Thank you so much for joining, and have a good listening ahead. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Henrietta, for that beautiful overview. And yes, we are always here for each and every one of us. Okay, so just before we get into it again, I know I've been saying that, but I'll just like for us to talk about our expectations for this event. So for those of us who are guests here and have made time out to join, I'd like all of us as a collective to just pause in the moment and reflect on why are we here? What do we want to gain from this activity? What do we want to gain from this event? What are our expectations? What do we hope to walk away from this topic, this training rather, with? So I'm just going to give a brief pause to allow everybody to think and marinate in those thoughts. And you can please feel free to share these thoughts as well. What are your expectations? You can use the chat box to share these with our team. Okay. So for me, I'm looking forward to hearing what exactly imposter syndrome is, because I think it's a terminology that in recent years has been flying around, and there are a lot of people that I know online, offline, that relate to this experience. But I myself, I don't know if I've ever experienced this kind of phenomenon. So for me, that understanding is something I'm seeking, and also how to possibly overcome such struggles as one who has been in various leadership capacities. So I'm looking forward to everyone's definition of imposter syndrome, actually, which you can also feel free to share in the chat box. In the meantime, I'll be inviting my colleague Aisha to give us the speaker's introduction. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And welcome everyone once again to today's webinar titled Overcoming Imposter Syndrome. My name is Aisha, and it is my pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker in person of Ololade Awaye. She is an highly respected professional in this field, so please allow me to review her impressive biography. Ololade Awaye is an accomplished psychologist, empathetic listener, a dedicated trainer, and a passionate mental health advocate with extensive expertise in fostering awareness and aiding individuals ranging from children down to adults in recognizing and prioritizing their mental health. Her specialty grapple with ADHD, depression, and anxiety. Ololade guides our clients towards becoming their best of selves, finding relief, and deepening their relationship by first understanding their relationship with themselves and then healing from past experiences. Ololade is a proud member of American Psychological Association, a Nigerian mental health fellow, a certified cognitive behavioral therapist, and certified in psychological first aid. In addition to our professional endeavors, Ololade Awaye is deeply involved in community service, volunteering her expertise and time to provide free counseling sessions to wards at correctional centers for both males and females in Lagos, while supporting various mental health initiatives. Her educational background includes a BS in psychology, and she continues to pursue advanced training in neuropsychology. So allow me once again to introduce our distinguished speaker for today, Ololade Awaye. Thank you so much, Ma, for gracing our webinar. I would like to hear from you and learn a lot from today's webinar. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. So my name is Ololade Awaye. It's pronounced Awaye.
Oh, Awaye. Thank you so much for that.
So it's actually nice to be here and also meeting everyone. I think a few of you recognize me. I'm not a stranger to that, but this topic, overcoming imposter syndrome, is going to be quite interactive because we're going to learn. Trust me. I really went as far as doing a lot of research as regards imposter syndrome, and also aside the definition, who came up with imposter syndrome? Like, what were they thinking? Like, what exactly is that? So it's going to be quite interactive. And yes, I just want you to sit tight, prepare your questions, because yes, I also want to learn and share experiences as well, because learning from one another's experiences is when you actually would hold on to what you've learned. So it would be in-depth, yes, not just anything shallow. It should be in-depth. So yes, I am going to share my screen now. Okay. So please just let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
We can.
Yes, we can. Okay, so yes, overcoming imposter syndrome. Yeah, so next slide. So we're going to talk about what imposter syndrome is, understand imposter syndrome. Don't just have like the definition. Don't just when they say what is imposter syndrome, oh, it's when you feel like a fraud. That's just is what Google will give you. Those are the common definitions and explanation as regards imposter syndrome. But understanding is when you get to know that, okay, this is what it is. You will also be able to identify when or if you're experiencing imposter syndrome, and also when those around you, if they also experience imposter syndrome at some point in their lives. So presentation of imposter syndrome. So how exactly can we identify what imposter syndrome is, the experience, the condition, what it is actually, and how do we overcome imposter syndrome, things to remember, and also conclusion. So there is this, I don't know, I can't remember where I saw this particular phrase or this sentence. Your mentality will shape your actions will shape your outcomes. How you view yourself today is the person you become tomorrow. So this particular quote, I don't know, I'll call it a quote. The first two sentences, your mentality will shape your actions and your actions will shape your outcomes. When I saw this, I think I was reading a book, and I came across this in two different chapters. I had to I highlight it because it goes deeper than what it is just saying here. If you check it very well, we're going to come back to this, but I just wanted to think about this for a while. Just think about it briefly. The next one here says, how you view yourself today is the person you become tomorrow. I'm going to talk mostly about clinical experience. I work as a psychologist and therapist. So majority of the things I'll be talking about would be part of coming from my own personal experience and also clinical experiences as well. So yeah, the first question here is, what is imposter syndrome? What is imposter syndrome? Like I said, it is going to be quite interactive. And I know there are some definitions here, but I just want one person. When you've been hearing people talk about imposter syndrome, there are a lot of posts on Instagram, and there are a lot of things, information online. But when you hear imposter syndrome, right? Personalizing it, okay, what do I think it is? I've seen a lot of things, but what exactly is imposter syndrome to me? Who wants to go? Who wants to just try? Assad is raising hand.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm just going to mention talk about how I explain it by my individually, personally. So I do not know anything about it, but I just came across it recently. So I feel overcoming imposter syndrome basically means trying to be someone you're not, trying to copy someone else's personality traits or someone else's leadership skills and implementing it in your own life, even if it doesn't entirely work best for you. Yes, that's what I understand. Yes, thank you.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Someone else. Okay, I have two people. Amazing. Nice. Okay, Elizabeth. You're muted.
Sorry. I think it's like having self-doubt. You have the ability, you have the experience, you have what it takes, but you still self-doubt yourself. You feel that you can't really do it, and you're always having that constant fear that you're going to feel at it, or someone is going to feel that you're trying to scam them or something.
Nice. Self-doubt. Nice. I like this. Okay, so Fatima.
Okay, good afternoon. Ololade Awaye. I think imposter syndrome is a situation whereby you're not sure of yourself. You're not sure of your ability to achieve something. Far from fear of success, you're not really sure of your ability to face challenges and achieve something from your effort.
Nice, nice. Thank you. Aishat.
Okay, so I feel imposter syndrome is when an individual has symptoms of anxiety and is more or less self-doubting, yes, and always wanting second opinion from other people just to feel among.
Nice, nice. I like the responses I'm getting. Okay, so the last person before we continue, Otanie. I hope I pronounced that right. Otanie, can unmute yourself. Or Boluwatife. You can go.
Okay, sorry. So I was trying to unmute myself, but it wasn't working. So from what I understand about, I actually don't really understand much about imposter syndrome, but the little that I've been able to gather, I've come to this conclusion that imposter syndrome can lead to like self-sabotage. It would you because you feel like you whatever you have, you don't deserve it. You see yourself unintentionally trying to destroy what you have in your life. So that is just like my understanding of it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Boluwatife, the last person before I continue.
Okay. I feel it's more of like low self-esteem and fear of the unknown. Like you don't know if you do this, will it come out well? Will there be success? So fear of no and low self-esteem, knowing fully well that you have the capacity to do it.
Nice, nice. That's actually very nice. Thank you so much for your responses. Trust me, I like the fact that you all gave your understanding. Your responses came from your personal experience and what you know so far as regards imposter syndrome. So today, right, aside learning, we're also going to unlearn certain things and relearn things that we know, but in a different way entirely. So like I said, please just pen down your questions because I am very open to receiving questions and also clarifying certain things. So looking at imposter syndrome, yes, I said that I went as far as trying to find out the people, those people that came up with this concept, because really, imposter syndrome was not coined by one person. No, two ladies came up with this concept: imposter syndrome, imposter phenomenon, and imposterism. All of just two ladies, and when they came up with it, right, their focus was basically on females, professional women that are very capable of doing whatever it is they want to do. They are very sure and confident in themselves, in their job, in their career, in their businesses. They are very, very confident. So they came up with this because they realized that, oh, there are times that I feel this way. I don't even know how I feel. I just get like, I'm not sure of myself. I know I have the talent. I know I have the skill. I have the experience. I have the training. I have everything it takes to be a director. But I still feel like, am I sure I'm doing this right? Am I sure this is how it is supposed to go? So that's feeling. They came up together. They are both scientists. They came up together, they sat together, and they were talking about, oh, do you feel this way? The other person said yes. The person said, do you feel, I'm trying to remember their names. Kleins and Claude, I can't remember the name, sorry. So when they came up with this concept, they basically put it out there that, oh, do you guys know there is something like this? Have you also been feeling this way? So they got a lot of people comment, a lot of people share experiences, and it was like, oh, so we are not even the only one going through these things. Mind you, this concept came from people that are professionals. They are good at what they do. They are not newbies. They are not just starting. They've been in their fields for years. If you go down into the history of imposter syndrome, right, there is also another person, a male, that basically came up with these bicycle faces that women make. But there's nothing, you see, bicycle faces is just like a face, right? It's not to basically explain something or describe something. You know, when you're trying to scare ladies and say, oh, when you start making, you know, bicycle, when you, I don't know how to ride a bicycle, but when you ride a bicycle and you're just learning, right? When you pedal and you're trying to do there's a way your face becomes, there's a way like your face, there's a look your face gives, right? So they just turned it to a disorder or a problem, bicycle face. But the men really did this because they realized that, oh, when a woman gets skilled in a particular thing, nobody can actually fight her. That is why I am very, very keen on learning. Once you learn something, in as much as you're interested in this particular skill, once you learn it, right, that knowledge does not go away. It is always going to be there forever. So you can learn from a younger person. You can learn from a subordinate. You can learn from your younger sister or somebody that you don't particularly like his or her character. But the fact that you want to get this knowledge, that period, learning, please learn. These men, they saw it as a threat that, oh, these women now, they know how to ride bicycles. Before we know now, they'll be doing other things and they will not depend on us anymore. They would not want us to look at them. The definition of imposter syndrome, according to Wikipedia, is a psychological experience. It is not a condition. There is no way in the diagnostic statistical manual, there is no place in the International Classification of Diseases that basically says imposter syndrome is a problem or a condition or a disorder. No. The thing is, if you constantly experience imposter syndrome and you do not work on it, it has a tendency to lead to anxiety. Aisha mentioned it. It has a tendency to lead to other mental difficulties. So looking at the definition here, it is a psychological experience of intellectual and professional fraudulence. This is where you see yourself as, oh, I don't think I can actually do this. It's an experience. It's something that you experience. So you can experience it for a long time. You can experience it for 2 days. You can experience it for 5 minutes. The consistency of this experience is what leads to a condition, and the condition, the disorder that we know to be mental illnesses. If it is being experienced over and over again. Imposter syndrome is a psychological phenomenon where people, despite clear evidence of their success, so individuals that are perfectionists, they are very, very good. You would find imposter syndrome common in people that are high achievers. They have like a lot of things working for them. They've been able to come up with a lot of amazing innovations, but still, there is still this doubt that is somewhere in their subconscious. We are going to unravel all of these things. But I want you to take note of something, that imposter syndrome is an experience. It is not a condition. It has a tendency to lead to a condition, but it is not a condition. Another thing you also need to take note is the fact that they feel like, oh, if people catch me now, I'm not a professional psychologist. All these things I've been doing, I'm just doing it. I don't know, I'm just doing, even I know I went to school. I know I've been trained. I know I have experience, but they catch me and they just expose me. I don't think I'll be able to defend myself. That fear is there. The fear of being seen as a charlatan, as a fraudulent person, as a fake. That fear of if they expose me or if I am exposed like this, everything has scattered. So now understanding imposter syndrome is different from getting the definition of imposter syndrome. Understanding it is actually integral because it is when you understand the concept, that is when you'll be able to identify and eventually walk through it or work on it. Imposter syndrome is associated with relentless, unwarranted self-doubt. Self-doubt, like, when you doubt, not everybody in this current, let's be realistic. National grid has been falling, so you can't actually trust NEPA for anything. And the fact that fuel is heightened, the price of fuel is increased. Not everybody can afford to actually buy fuel to run their generators. So you can't actually put your trust in PHCN. You don't trust them. There's this, you don't need anybody to tell you, oh, don't worry, we'll have light for the next 3 days. And this one, the national grid is falling and waking up and all of these things. You cannot particularly trust you. There's this natural doubt that comes with the efficiency of these power holding companies in Nigeria. There is this efficiency, there is this lack of efficiency. Oh, is it NEPA? I beg, I don't even want to hold anything. I cannot hold water when it comes to, because I don't even trust them. There is this doubt, it is natural. So with imposter syndrome, there is this unwarranted self-doubt. It's just like you doubt yourself. Oh, I want to do my master's. After doing your master's, oh, okay, I think if you apply for this job, you can actually get a lot of experience and it would actually help you as well. You have gotten your master, you start saying, I don't think I'm qualified at all. No. I don't think I, but they are telling you that even those with BSc, they are applying, they are getting it. But you just did your master's, you have the experience, but you're still doubting yourself. Like, where is it coming from? Where is this doubt coming from? Nobody knows. It affects most competent and qualified individuals. You are qualified, you know you are qualified. There is no doubt. Even people that are not, they've not gotten to the extent of qualification that you have, but there is still this doubt. You question your abilities, you doubt your accomplishments, and you believe that they are not even good enough. Oh, there are people that are better. In therapy sessions, things like this, imposter syndrome, has a lot of relationship. Imposter syndrome and cognitive distortions are intertwined, especially the minimization. Cognitive distortion are thinking errors. They are very false patterns. But realizing that, okay, I have this skill, I have this experience, I have the certificate I need to apply for this job to move to the next level. Why do I keep holding myself back? Somebody mentioned self-sabotage. All of these things are intertwined. You see, it is normal to feel inadequate or unsure of yourself. That's why I said imposter syndrome is an experience. You can feel like, oh, I don't think I'm qualified for this. And you think about it for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, then you start to check, okay, what are their requirements? You go there, you start checking it. Okay, I have this, I have that, I have this. Oh, this is in view. And immediately, I don't think I'm qualified. All of those thoughts that came prior to you checking the requirement, it just vanishes. It's not like you have not experienced imposter syndrome, no, but it has not actually stayed. You have not fixated on that thought. Don't forget that imposter syndrome is an experience. The longer you feel it, the longer you experience it, the more damage it does to your mental health. The more damage it does to you making decisions to actually develop yourself, like improve your personal development. The persistent self-doubt of imposter syndrome can make it hard for you to believe that you deserve success, or for you to deserve that you need to move to the next level. If imposter syndrome is consistent, like you're feeling it every day, every time, you would get stuck in a particular position for a long time. In addition, imposter syndrome is used to describe insecurity, vulnerability, and discomfort that comes with moving forward. There is something that is known as comfort zone, right? You know, when you are used to doing things a particular way for a long time, and you feel like, oh, I'm comfortable this way, I don't think I should go this, I don't think I should start this, I think this is okay, I can do online, okay. You are not ready to bring yourself out of those things that you are comfortable in. Imposter syndrome, I look at it in different ways because I know I have had my fair struggle with imposter syndrome. I've attended therapy sessions. I've been able to discuss it with my therapist. So I know that this is not just something that you just shrug off, because the more you keep bottling it as, okay, there are times you just experience it and it stays for like days and you just ignore. The next time it's coming with more intensity. So the earlier, the better. The earlier you identify, the earlier you start working on it. Because don't forget, if unaddressed, imposter syndrome, this condition, this experience can lead to depression. It can lead to low self-esteem. It can lead to you isolating yourself. It can lead to you having difficulties with your interpersonal relationships. Anything that requires you to believe in yourself and imposter syndrome sets in, it would affect literally everything that has to do with you. Maybe it is not even work. It might not even be your profession. It might not even be your career. It might be getting in a relationship. Imposter syndrome can affect that as well. Oh, am I good enough for this person? Oh, she's a very fine and beautiful person. She is very educated. I know I go to school now. I understand that I'm educated, but do I think that is where self-sabotage tends to come in. With time, we would actually discuss that. So now, you experience imposter syndrome when you credit your success or luck to others, to luck or other external factors. Something happened at work, and we're trying to figure out, okay, so I work with a nonprofit as a psychologist. We basically look out for people, victims and survivors of sexual and gender-based violence, and defend them as well. So we're trying to come up with a plan for a particular activity in this project. So they were talking about, let's do this. Let's try to work on our activities so we can delegate roles so everybody knows what they are doing. Now that day is not cloudy, it's not choked up, it's not disorganized. This happened, I think, early months, like early this year. Yes. So I myself, I know I like to delegate because I want you to have a sense of responsibility. Okay, do this, do that, do this, do that. So at some point, right, when you start to notice, okay, there is this person on the team that she does her own share of responsibility. But when they are giving acknowledgements, or they are trying to give you accolades, oh, your team did really well, she's quick to, no, I didn't do anything, no. I didn't do anything, no. Ololade did everything, no. And I'm like, which Ololade did everything? How did I do everything? So you see, when you constantly push your accomplishments, your achievements, it might just be once in a while, or you realize that every little thing you do at home, at work, amongst your friends, you are quick to pushing your success. Oh, it's luck. Oh, see, this job that I got, I don't even know what I even did. Because on that interview day, I can't even say I was prepared. I think it's just luck, or I think somebody bribed the person that interviewed me, because I don't think I got this job. When you notice this and it happens regularly, this is you experiencing some parts or a particular facet of imposter syndrome. When you criticize yourself for minor mistakes, remember I said imposter syndrome is mostly common amongst perfectionists, people that are high-end achievers. They are people that they know. So any little mistake or error, or you forgot, this just happened. It's not like it happens every time. You forgot. You start to criticize yourself. Oh, why did I make that mistake? Why do I keep doing this? You do all of this thing over and over again. That is imposter syndrome. When you fear that you would not meet expectation, or you have a deadline, right? And there is this, I don't think I can do it. Though. I don't think I can do it because the deadline is still December 15th. And you are still today is November 10th. You still have a month and a few days to work on it. But your mind keeps redirecting to, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it. If you remember the quote I shared at in the last slide, the first slide rather, that says what you think about your mind. Yes, your mentality will shape your actions will shape your outcomes. So now let's bring this to this particular one. When you would not meet expectation, you already think you can't do it. The fact that you think you can't do it, you would not get the motivation or the enthusiasm to even start. There is a connection between what you think about, how you feel, and what you do. That's cognitive behavioral therapy. So if you already feel like, oh, I don't think I can pass this exam, or I don't think they're going to call me, you would not want to challenge yourself. You would not want to bring yourself to actually start something. When you overwork, you find yourself working, you just want to keep doing something. Let me just keep doing something. I just want to keep doing something. You don't want people to assist you. You want to do everything yourself. That is either you being a perfectionist. I don't want any mistake. I just want success. I just want it to be perfect. And you fail to delegate. You would do something you can do between, like you can start like between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and you know that you would have achieved something. You will keep it to, I think I can do it before I sleep. And you know, I think I can do it before I sleep. You will put it in a place where you know, once you start like this, you just get tired and you just sleep off. That happens sometimes intentionally, sometimes it just happens. But once you notice, don't forget the persistency and consistency in doing all of these things over and over again is what leads to a condition, a disorder, an illness. When you exhibit self-sabotaging behavior, I don't think I'm going to apply. No, it's not. You know, they want somebody that has applied before. They want somebody that has the experience. They want somebody that has volunteered. They want somebody that has traveled before. They want somebody that has passport. You start counting all of these things, but these are things that you can do. Why, instead of counting the things that they want, how about you start achieving the things you can actually achieve? With time, we'll see how we can, when we get to overcoming the imposter syndrome, we'll talk about all of these things in details. But I deliberately highlighted all of these things because it is important. Somebody said, I don't even know what imposter syndrome is. I don't even know if I experienced it. So these are clues you can actually get. You can experience all of these things once in a while. That is fine. The keynote is if it is consistent, that is where the problem starts. And don't forget, it doesn't have to do with your career. It doesn't have to do with your education. It spans across everything that has to do with you as an individual. The next one here says express self-doubt. When you constantly say, oh, I can't do this, you have friends that are motivating you. Oh, you can do it. And did you talk that conference now, you spoke. So why do you think you can't talk here? Why do you think, oh, then, the people I spoke to, they are just 10 people, and you want me to go and talk to 150? You will just want to look out for flaws. You want to look out for problems. Even though, okay, there's a part where you can feel anxious or nervous, which is completely fine. But the thing is, in all of these things, right, you know you have done it before. How about you hold on to, I've done it before, even though I didn't speak to a large crowd, but at least that's how it starts, and I'm going to push myself. One thing I've come to realize that therapy has actually helped me with, and also being a therapist, is you can look at this experience differently. I see imposter syndrome to be a motivator. I would explain when we get to that part. Hold yourself back from career opportunities, from promotion opportunities. Oh no, I don't think I've got. Yes, I know it is my turn. I know I can apply for a promotion. I know it is, yes, I have all of the requirements and the prerequisites. I can actually do it, but I think I'm still comfortable here. Maybe I'll do it next year or next 2 months. So you keep holding yourself back, you keep procrastinating. So yes, this is where I have a question for everybody. I can't be the only one talking. So this says the way you the way you view yourself will fundamentally affect the way you act. So these are experiences, these are examples here. You don't think you're worthy of a job, you procrastinate the application. So this is not just a job. You don't think you're worthy of starting your PhD or your master's. You just procrastinate. Okay, even if I don't have money, somebody sends you links to scholarships, and you're like, do I want to see? The comfort zone is one thing that I know makes people not achieve what they can achieve. The fact that they are comfortable. You see, change is constant. When you make the first step gradual, it's not easy to actually just change things, right? But once you start that process, it's just about you starting. Once you start, every other thing will just sort out itself. But the problem that I have realized, especially with individuals with living with ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, you see, that's changed. I have a few of them as clients, and I work with them as well. So I know to a large extent how difficult it can be to actually push out and just to do something for yourself. Remember, it starts with what you think, your mentality, your mindset. I don't think I'm qualified. You see that qualification? You have the qualification. You can actually do it. But when you start thinking of, I don't think I'm qualified for this job. Okay, I would apply tomorrow. I would apply next week. I would apply next. But when I finished NYSC, I applied for a job as a psychologist intern in a neuropsychological firm in Lagos. When I applied, it was a very, very interesting experience because I applied and I was very enthusiastic. Like, I served at Accra State General Hospital, so I have the experience, I have the knowledge. even before I got a job, I've been reading, taking courses online, trying to develop myself. So I was not just about, my friends were there, they started their masters immediately, but I wanted the experience because I've been practicing as a psychologist even before I left school. So I didn't just want to practice like, this one is just practicing, because I know I experienced imposter syndrome. I told you that I've experienced it. I experienced it when I had my first clients after NYSC. This man, when I started, I was charging therapy sessions, 3 sessions for 5,000 naira. This is me, fresh graduate now. What do I know? So I was using, and I will be very honest, I'm a BSc graduate, a fresh graduate. And this man, he said, are you sure you know what you're doing? I felt it. I felt it. Like he said, it was like, because I charge the therapy sessions that I've attended, a session is 60,000 naira, and they are charging 5,000 naira for 3 sessions. Are you sure you know what you're doing? What school did you attend? He was just asking all of these questions, and immediately imposter syndrome. Hey, do I even have the experience? Do I even know what I'm doing? Trust me, I told the man, I said, I'm very sorry. Like I was completely, when I gave up. I literally just said, you see this job, I cannot do it. Because this is me. I know I have the experience. I know, okay, this is somebody that he has traveled. His first therapist was an Indian. The second therapist was an American. So he said he doesn't want all of these people, that he doesn't feel like they understand his problem, all of his presentations. And I get that. There can be cultural bias and everything. I don't want to lose tangent, but I'm just going to summarize it here. So when we eventually started therapy sessions, before, I told him that I graduated from Lagos State University. I worked as a psychologist here. He said, okay. And I told him at the end of all of my explanation that I don't mind referring you to somebody with more experience. I told him that. I don't mind referring you to somebody with more experience. And immediately, I think he was not expecting that. Immediately, he was like, okay, no problem. I didn't even, immediately he said no problem. I was not expecting anything, only for him to reach out to me a few days later that, okay, I think I would like to start. I'm ready to start. Then we started. We had sessions for like 6 months. Every week, we had sessions for 6 months. So if you don't see, what's it called, imposter syndrome as a motivator, because after that conversation I had with him, trust me, who was reading, Ololade? Who was taking courses, Ololade? Who was disturbing my supervisor, Ololade? Because I saw it as, okay, this is my first client, right? I just finished school. I really do not know what to expect. I started attending trainings. Anything that has to do with training, I attend. Paid and unpaid. Certificates given or free, I will attend. So when you start to think of yourself as you're not worthy, you would just, that enthusiasm to actually do something would reduce automatically. The second one here says, you don't think you can lead on a research or a clinical project. You continue to hang out in the background, waiting for others and waiting for someone to give you a change. You would do things in the shadow of others. You would not be able to put yourself out there because there is this, be the lead. This is a big project though. How do I be the lead? Even when they are doing your presentation in school and you are in a group and okay, you have done your part of the presentation. Do you want to take? Do you want to lead? Explain your part. No, you explain it, you explain it. That's because you have not completely accepted that I can actually do this. The way you view yourself will fundamentally affect the way you act. You don't think you can sit confidently in an interview. You feel like a nervous wreck. Like, you see, the anxiety will just be coming. Even before you get in front of the panelists that will interview you, the anticipatory anxiety, all of those things would just reduce your enthusiasm. You would not even prepare well because some part of you feels like you can't actually achieve this. So having a negative self-view will only lead to growing the imposter monster. It will grow it because this is you not even giving yourself a chance. So now my question to people, everybody listening, I've given you examples, right? I just want to know maybe 1 or 2 persons, tell me ways you feel like, okay, with everything I have said so far, I've actually experienced imposter syndrome. Just tell me the experience and what happened. In 1 minute, in 2 minutes, I want to keep to time. Yes, Otanie. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. You can unmute yourself. You can start.
Oh, yes, yes, you're pronouncing it right.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So, the times that, from everything you've said, there's this thing about me that whenever I would apply for something and I don't get it automatically, and whenever like another opportunity comes again, I would not apply because of that fear of I wasn't able to get it. And most of these times, I would actually have like the credentials for this thing, but I would just be scared to do that, and I would not like apply for that thing again. Like I recently like lost a job opportunity due to something, and I got another one, but I was just like, I beg, if I apply for this thing, it's still going to be the same story. So what is even the point of it? Let me just rest and wait, which is actually not a good thing because what of if this one will actually turn out to be good?
Nice. You see, I forgot to complete what I was saying as regards where I intern. I applied to that place twice. The first time I applied, they didn't pick me. According to them, they said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You met all of the criteria. This is somebody we actually even want on our team, but we employ one intern every year, and unfortunately, we have employed somebody. You can try again next year." I was heartbroken. When I saw the application the following year, I saw the application. When I saw it, I was just like, well, I'm not going to apply. Not until a friend of mine. This is another thing why it's actually good to talk about these things. Have like support system. Don't just have friends. Have friends you can talk to about things like this. My friend saw it and immediately he saw it. He knew that I applied previously. I didn't get it. He just saw it randomly and he sent it to me. Alpha, you don't apply. And I'm like, yeah, I saw it. I saw it. He said, Ololade, have you applied? Well, to be honest, I don't think I'm going to apply. He said, apply. Apply. Because you didn't get it the last time doesn't mean you will not get it again. Apply. And he said, okay, you know what? Send me your CV. Send me your CV. Let me just draft it. So you just send it. I'll send everything to you. That's what he did. Because I was already feeling, I don't think I should apply. I don't want to. But the fact that I had somebody to push me, I eventually interned there. And I was made after my internship, I was retained as the psychologist there. And this is literally, I don't know of any neuropsychological firm in Nigeria. So it is like, it was a big deal to me, getting the knowledge, getting the experience, meeting people, because it was actually a very top class organization. So imposter syndrome can make you miss opportunities that you know that I should just push myself. Rosalind, yes, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Ma. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Roslyn Justice, and my question is that, okay, this is personal. This is me. It's about me. So I'm this kind of person that before I do anything, because I'm a filmmaker, so before I go into any project, I just want to make sure that everything is on point because I'm a perfectionist. So I've been noticing it personally, on my own production. I have refused to carry out some certain films that I was supposed to shoot because I'm like, okay, I've not gotten to this level yet. Okay, this is what that actually has to be on ground before I start on productions. So I have now decided to say, okay, let me go forward to my other colleagues that are creatives also, they are filmmakers and also, work on their own projects, and I'm doing fine on that. And somebody walks up to me and now tells me that, okay, not doing your own, but you prefer to do people's own, So I have this mentality that I'm like, okay, it's not yet time. Oh, it hasn't gotten to this point. Oh, it has to be better. Oh, I don't have, the right equipment I actually want. So is this really imposter syndrome? Yes, that's my question. Thank you.
Yes, it is. That's just, it's a very straight answer. Yes, that is imposter syndrome. That is just a simple presentation of imposter syndrome, because you know these things, right? And the fact that you have the experience, you have the knowledge, you can actually do it, but you keep giving somebody. It happens a lot with high achievers. You said it. You like to see things being perfect. You have achieved a lot of things, right? But this particular one, there is this doubt. If you go and do mistake here and you just flop and everything just scatters and it doesn't go well, how do you think you'll be able to? When you start to think like that and it's becomes something you fixate on, remember I said it's an experience. You can experience it for 2 minutes, you can experience it for 5 minutes. If you fixate on these thoughts, it has a tendency of making you just give up completely. The way the mind works is when you concentrate and focus on one particular thing, it would automatically bring up experiences that has happened in the past. Mind you, it doesn't even have to be your own personal experience. It could be experiences of those that you have seen. Maybe you read an article online, or you saw somebody share experience on Instagram, or you saw something on somebody's WhatsApp status. All of this information that you gather, all of this information that you absorb, it doesn't just go, it gets stored somewhere. So if you start to sense all of these doubts and you start to think about it for a long time, it will bring up all of those things that you have seen. Even if they are similar or they are not similar, it will just bring all of them together, in as much as they are giving you the same stream, like the same line of self-doubt. Yes, pressed.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right. Hi, everyone. So the experience I want to share with imposter syndrome is about LinkedIn. I opened LinkedIn some years ago, and when I opened LinkedIn, I basically just opened it because I went for an event where they encouraged us to open it for career sake and all that. So when I opened it, and I really didn't even know how to go about it, but I mean, I was saying suggestions and seeing people's profile and everything, and all of a sudden I started getting this anxiety that, I mean, I was in school back then, and even I was seeing the profile of students, and I was wondering that how are these people having all this thing that they are posting? Weird, how are they doing it? What should I post? What should I, although I was going for event, but it was like seeing other people's posts and all that. Although I only had 3 Connect at that time, but I was seeing what they were sharing and all. So it was, I couldn't, to be honest, for like 3 years, I just had that LinkedIn, right? And I did not post anything. I did not even repost anything. I was like, what should I post? Won't I look like a joke if I post something? Won't I look like, I was having the what if, what if, what if. Then sometimes it was like that, right, for some years. And I mean, it's to me, it's funny right now that for years I only had less than 10 Connect on LinkedIn at the time I opened it. So last year I remember that I applied for a program, right, and the instructor said something about that LinkedIn and kind of encouraged us that we should document every bit, that nothing is small on that anything that I see that, I mean, I achieved, no matter how little, my small wins, anything I should just post there, put it there, try to connect with people of like minds, or people that are in my line of career and everything. So when that person said that thing, right, that moment I was kind of, okay, encouraged, motivated, that, okay, yes, let me do it. But the moment I went to that LinkedIn, that thing came back again. Like I was typing, I'll type, I'll delete, I'll type, I'll delete, I'll type, I'll delete, right? I went for an event, right? I wanted to upload this thing there and really write what I got there and everything. I'll type, I'll delete, I'll type, I'll delete. And I just stopped. That was last year. I stopped again for some months. I did not even post anything until when I applied for another boot camp again. And they did a LinkedIn challenge. They did a LinkedIn challenge for my track, and it was a 20 days challenge, right? It wasn't, they said it was compulsory, but there were quite a number of people that did not get involved in it, right? But I just took it up that, let me try it out, let me see. I mean, we're over thousands, because it's for all track. We are about thousands of people that engaged in that 20 days LinkedIn challenge. We're to be posting every day. That means every weekday is Monday to Friday till it was up to 20 days. And I don't really know how that thing was just coming. I was just putting things related to what I was learning in that boot camp, right? Whatever I learn, I'm supposed to put it there. It was a learning challenge. So I just write anything. I just put anything. Sometimes I get 1 like, sometimes I get 2 likes, right? Even when I post, sometimes I won't even go back to check if I have comments. If I even get notification, I won't check it, because I'm like, what if someone says tackles what I said or what I said I learned and all. So I don't know how I was able to pull through daily. I'd finished the challenge, and after I finished the challenge, to be honest, I did not even expect that I would be recognized for that challenge whatsoever, because we're thousands. And because of that challenge, there's no day I get into LinkedIn that I will not see someone of that my track that wants to connect with me. It's kind of expanded my connections. It's kind of expanded my networking. I started receiving people that will send me messages that's this thing that I said. I mean, it's also funny. And at the same time, it was kind of a groundbreaker for me, right?
Wow.
The anxiety, this thing. So I would say that after some weeks, after the boot camp, I was the winner for my track, because they picked winners for each track. So I was the winner for my track for the challenge. And when I saw the mail that I was the winner, the first thing I did was I sat down. I was now wondering, are they mistaken? Because I checked anyone that connects with me or anyone I connect with that is also doing that challenge that is in my track, or not even in my track, that is in the boot camp. I used to check their profiles. So I've checked quite a number of people that is in my track profile. And I just zero my mind that, hey, with all these things that some are posting. In fact, some people even did content, right? And I was like, surprised at how, what's the criteria? Although I didn't really ask, but I mean, they do have the way they picked and why I turned out to be the winner of that challenge. So what I just want to say is that sometimes this thing can be there for years, but what I observed is the moment you're able to break through that particular thing that you have imposter syndrome for, the feeling is amazing. Honestly, it's really, really amazing. So right now, sometimes I can just sit down and say, I want to post this on LinkedIn. I want to just type something on LinkedIn. I've been able to learn to interact. I've been able to navigate through. I've been able to, one way or the other, I've understood that platform. So yeah, that's my experience. Thank you.
I appreciate the details. Trust me, I really do appreciate the details. And I also like the fact that you started. You see, I think I've emphasized on this, and I would keep emphasizing on it. With imposter syndrome, right? Well, now we are going into how to overcome it. You cannot completely overcome something you don't fully understand, right? That's why I had to take a lot of time to lay emphasis on the definition and also the understanding. Thank you so much for sharing. So now, I have identified about 10 things that we can do to overcome imposter syndrome. So the first one here says, acknowledge the feelings. What you want to stop, right? You can't stop it if you don't know what it is. Accept that, okay, at this point, I feel like this. I feel like I'm not qualified enough to take on this job or this role. I feel like I don't have what it takes. I feel like I can't do it. I feel like, you see, when you start acknowledging all of these things, you are not hiding it. You are not ignoring it. There is something that has to do with acceptance. It's even a technique in psychology, acceptance and acceptance therapy. So when you accept that, okay, this is something that I struggle with, this is something I experience from time to time, and I don't like that I experience it. Well, yes, I know I experience it. Accept that this is how I feel. Acknowledge that I have underestimated my abilities. When you start with that, you are giving yourself the opportunity to actually fight it and come to terms with, in as much as I've accepted this, it is not going to continue. I have acknowledged that this is how I feel. It is not going to continue. But the more you start saying, one of the things that, one of the ways you can also overcome imposter syndrome that I think we should put into this is also faking it until you make it. There is something they call visualizing, mental visualization in therapy. This is you just visualizing yourself getting to speak on that stage that you are scared of speaking. Visualize yourself getting to actually start working in the organization that you feel like, oh, they're not going to employ me, I'm not qualified enough. When you start to visualize yourself, right, you have first of all accepted that this is a problem. When you don't accept, you would not actually solve it. Whatever it is you do would be passive. Acceptance is one thing. Acknowledging is one thing. Acceptance and acknowledging, they are two. they are together. It is what you acknowledge that you accept. If you are lying to yourself that you are not angry or you are not sad, you would not actually get help. If you do not acknowledge and accept that you actually need help, whoever is trying to help you will do that, but you would accept that help or you would not even accept at all. The second one is to keep a list of achievements, regardless of how irrelevant it seems. Keep a list of achievements, regardless of how irrelevant it seems. What I do, right, is every support group I facilitate, every program I get to talk or in or at, or every feedback I get from my clients, right, I have a folder on my phone and on my laptop. I put it there. I just put my name there, Ololade. So this folder, right, I just keep putting things there. Oh, I like the way the session went. I like the patience. Oh, when I'm in therapy sessions, the fact that you listen to me without any interruptions, I don't feel like I'm being judged. All of those things, right? I put it there. When I get invited to speak somewhere and I go there, I'm able to share the quarter of my knowledge. I'm able to inspire somebody and I get like a feedback. I put it there. You see, your accomplishments, right? These are proof that you can actually do what you're scared of, regardless of how minute it is. Minimization, you just shrug off important things. They try to compliment you. No, it's not me. I didn't do anything. These are things that would bring about anxiety, depression. These are things that would trigger PTSD. When you start to consider your little accomplishment, your achievements, gradually, small, just put them small. Don't wait for something big to happen before you consider it to be an achievement. No. The fact that you have volunteered with Assad consistently for 3 months, it is an achievement. It is not easy. It is an achievement. Get your certificate or all of the things that you know you did as your contribution to Assad. Put it somewhere. It is an achievement. When you want to apply for something and they said they want somebody that has volunteered in this, go back to all of those things that you have kept there. They serve as a means to motivate you and also remind you that you have done this thing. So when you constantly have all of those things and you keep reminding yourself, oh, I've been able to work in this place, I've gotten feedback, in this place I was working, I know where I intend, the place I intend, the neuropsychological firm, I can hit my chest and say, I started the talk therapy in that organization. Because the organization basically focuses on using devices. We work directly with the brain. So we look out for the areas of the brain responsible for emotions. What is the problem? Why is this person always crying? We treat that part of the brain. We use devices or the visual entrainment therapy, Unite. We use different devices. So that is an achievement. They had talk therapy, but it was not prominent. They were not making use of it. My boss had to call me, Lola, they teach us cognitive behavioral therapy. Take a training. They train us on all of this psychological thing. Let us fuse it together. The brain therapy, the brain approach and technique, it's not like it is not working. It works. But I was able to come up with a training, merging this brain approach and also talk therapy. There are ways you can actually merge them together and you will get more results. Faster results even. So all of these your achievements, put them aside. Don't wait for it to become one big thing. You want to overcome imposter syndrome. These are ways you do it. It's not just about listening to whatever it is I'm saying. It's not just about paying attention. The effectiveness of this training would be seen, would be known when you practice. I tell my clients as well, you get to see the effectiveness of therapy sessions when you practice what you are learning. It's not just about coming, writing, taking notes, talking, listening, no. But practicing, it goes a long way. You can also help others identify imposter syndrome. When your colleague is experiencing imposter, tell them. Because the more you tell them, the more you are reminding yourself it is an achievement. Write it. Keep it there. The third one here is to refresh your perspective, separate your work from identity. I am a psychologist. That is what I do. I identify as a cheerful young woman, as a Black happy, blessed young person. That is my identity. When you start to separate who you are from what you do, it goes a long way because you'll be able to look at what you do objectively. You'll be able to identify, I think I should work better in this area. I think I should work better in this area. There was a time I did that in therapy session. I had to like separate myself because I realized I was taking too long in therapy session spans for 1 hour. And this is me in therapy session. As at then, I would go 1 hour, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 30 minutes. And after the therapy session, I'll be like, why did I even spend more? Why did I even use? I know the client wanted to talk, but being professional, being what's the word? There's a word I'm looking for. When you are assertive with time, it would help you with your time management skill. So when you identify yourself, right, this is what I do and this is who I am, it would give you the opportunity to look at your work objectively. It would also help you mentally as well, because you would not be too attached to your job. Because when you're overly attached to your job, when somebody is trying to tell you to do something, you start saying, some part of you start thinking, am I not doing something before? You would want to become defensive. You would not want to take ideas. You would not want to take feedback. So all of these things, right, overcoming imposter syndrome, when you follow through all of these things I'm sharing, it goes a long way. The fourth one here says, use it as a motivator. I explained it earlier, how you use imposter syndrome as a motivator. The fact that I cannot achieve this particular like get to this platform or this area or this sector. The fact that I cannot achieve it now does not mean I will never achieve it. So the point is, okay, I get invited to a conference and everybody I'm seeing there, you know, imposter syndrome can actually set in just by looking at the way those that are in that conference, the way they are dressed. Just looking at the way they are dressed, the kind of appearance they have, you can experience imposter syndrome immediately without even hearing what they want to say or what they have to say. I recently got invited, to come and talk to professionals. Like, these people are way older. The oldest client I have had in my experience as a psychologist so far is 45 years old. The oldest person I have had. So just imagine, I'm now doing training for 20 professionals in their field. 20 of them, and the youngest there is 29. The oldest there is 71. Just imagine how me. Immediately, I had to tell the person that invited me, are you sure these people, they are old, or what do I want to say? I roam with young adults and adults, not really older adults like that. She said, Ololade, challenge yourself, you can do it. But the first time I went there, when I was talking, the way they were just looking at me, after I went to meet her, what did I do? It was like, they didn't even understand what I was saying. You see, imposter syndrome will make you question yourself. But once you can challenge, use it as a motivator. I went immediately. I went on Pinterest, ideas for older, what's it called? What's this thing called? There's this activity that you do in between conferences just to energize and help. There's a name for it. I can't remember now. I had to look for engaging activities. I had to converse with people that are my supervisors. Okay, I have this conference and I have to talk to this category of people. How do you think I should start? I shared my slide with them. What do you think I should do? Oh, Lord, they change the color. It's too bright. Lord, they put this one in the second. See, if you use imposter syndrome as a motivator, you will be able to go into that your role. Instead of feeling like a fraud, like a charlatan, you go with more confidence, which brings me to the next one. Practice confidence. When you practice confidence, you'll be able to know this is where I am. This is what I can control. This is what I cannot control. You cannot do everything. You cannot start something and become a guru at it in 2 days. No, it takes time. But with confidence, you will start to practice it. It's a gradual process. It's not magic. It is not magic. The experience, the intellect, the ideas will not just fall on your laps. No. Practice confidence, where you know that when you go there, people honor you. They know that, oh, that's Ololade, she's a psychologist. Go there often. Even if you're not invited to speak, go there to just go and listen and learn. Network, talk to people. Focus on the things you can control. With that, when you continuously engage yourself in activities like that, this is you preparing for opportunities to come. The sixth one here says, reframe success and failure. Reframe success and failure. So many people with imposter syndrome have a perfectionistic mindset. So when you view small mistakes, in our previous slide, I made mention of how you see one tiny error as one big thing, and oh, this is not going to end well. I've made this significant mistake. I cannot correct it. When you start to reframe how success and failure are viewed, come up with a different perspective entirely. Success does not mean you are perfect. It means that you are growing. Mistakes does not mean you are a fraud. It means that you are growing as well. It means you're growing. It's not magic. When you start to have a different perception, you see things in different perspectives, it will help you reframe your mindset. Don't forget the first slide. Your mentality will determine your action. Your action will determine your outcome. So if you go in with a success mindset, I can do this. I know I'm not completely vast or experienced in this area, but I can learn. I'm not just going to dwell and fixate on complaining and talking about it. Oh, I've not done anything. Oh, I don't know how to do this thing. What can I control? You see, if you notice, all of these areas, the steps, they are all intertwined. The first one will lead to the second one. The third one will lead to the fifth one. They are all intertwined. Mistakes are opportunities for learning. They are not evidence of fraudulence. No. Imposter syndrome, there is always the idea of I'm not capable and the idea of I'm a fake, I'm a charlatan. If they catch me, they will embarrass me. If they catch me, I know that my career is done. But reminding yourself with, oh, I am confident. I can actually learn. I accept that I experience imposter syndrome from time to time, but I'm not going to allow it stay for years. I'm going to make that decision to post something on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Even if it is a summary of the event I went for, or what I learned, the book I'm reading, just a chapter, just one thing that if you resonate with, just posting it. Oh, I read this book and these are the things I identified. Just that thing. It's just for you to start. So the seventh one says, embrace vulnerability and seek support. This is very integral. Seek support. You can't do these things alone. I'm going to reiterate the example I gave when I applied for the internship job the first time and I didn't get it. The fact that I was just very, very sad. I didn't want to apply again. But the fact that I have spoken about this situation to a friend. Don't just have friends. Make intentional friends that you can be vulnerable with and talk about these things with. It's when it has gotten to the part that, oh, I can't, my friend will not understand, or this has gone beyond just experiencing imposter syndrome. This is something that I experienced over and over again. So realizing that I need professional help, seek a psychologist, a therapist. When you talk about this thing, they might not have the solution, but the fact that you are saying it out loud, you are telling them, you're not keeping it to yourself, that's the step. A psychologist might encourage clients to express these thoughts openly. When you get invited to a place that you know, you see this place that you're going to, I know they say it's a networking event. I don't know, I don't have a job, or what will I go and be telling them? Tell your friend that is inviting you. Come up with a plan. Okay, you know that your business that you want to start. You can just have a conversation, or what you were even doing before you resigned or before you left that place. Just talk about it. You see, opportunities can come anywhere. Don't say because I don't have something I'm doing, I will just go to, I don't want to go to a networking event. No. Challenge yourself to go out. Leave your comfort zone. Talk to people. Support from others who have similar situation. You would not even know that your friend is also experiencing imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome, you see, that feeling of self-doubt is normal. The fact that imposter syndrome happens when it is consistent is a monster. because it will affect you. It will deprive you of the opportunities that you know you are to get. It will deprive you. It will make you delay on achieving the things that you know you can achieve. The next one here says, recognize the limits of your knowledge. Yes. In as much as there is the part of being a fraud there, don't say, oh, because I want to challenge myself, you will not go to a place where you know you're not qualified for, or you apply for something you know you're not qualified for. It's one thing to not be qualified for it and stay there. And another thing to realize that I'm not qualified for it, but I can actually help myself learn in this aspect. Accepting mastery comes with time. You don't learn something in one day. You don't become a professional or a guru in an activity or a role or a skill in one day. No, it takes time. When you accept that, okay, so far, right, me, looking at me like this, when it comes to marriage counseling, I don't really have experience in that. I go as far as referring to my colleagues. I refer to my colleagues when I am stuck with a client and we have tried literally popular psychological techniques or approaches in therapy sessions, and I am still stuck. I reach out because I know the limit of my knowledge. I don't know everything. Every day, techniques in psychology, they keep getting advanced. You will see upgrade, you will see updates. So keeping yourself in that part where I can learn, right? Because when you start to recognize limits of your knowledge, you would you see, the need to learn will just happen to you automatically. Sharing your opinion with logic, rationale, and awareness. When you start to talk, it goes a long way. Let people know that you have things that you're thinking about. In that board meeting that you're always there, not saying anything, start talking. Oh, you feel like your opinions do not matter. They matter. You know what the meeting is about. Prepare yourself before you get there. Don't let imposter syndrome make people see you as, oh, she doesn't really know anything as regards that, but you know a lot of things. You know a lot of things. I can remember that there was a time I was not really posting on Instagram. I think myself and Dari had a conversation about this some time ago too. It was like, post now. You're doing a lot of things, post. I still struggle with that still now. But it is easy for me to just post on my Instagram, come up with ideas. I'm not really a social media person. But the fact that I know people will get to see what I do when I put it out there. They would not know what I do if I don't put it out there. Share your thoughts. You see that when you go through all of those, your comments, the posts that you follow on Instagram, and somebody posts something and you resonate with it, comment on it, comment under it. Don't just keep it to yourself. I know with comments, people can even get to go through your post as well, to your profile. I really do not know how social media works, but I feel I've taken a course on Google Analytics. So I know the analytics of social media to an extent. I like to learn, but it doesn't mean I will learn and I will still do. No, I still struggle with that. But the thing is, when you can just look for that platform and you have seen the platform and you take advantage of the platform that you have seen, posts, say what you are thinking about in terms of the situation. Oh, the first scarcity and everything. You're a psychologist, you're a student. Post what you feel, how it is affecting people on your streets, in your compound. Post. Share your opinion. Make people know that there is somebody there that has thought-provoking ideas. There is somebody that you know that would talk about all of these things. When you shy away from talking about it, when you shy away from posting about it, you are growing imposter syndrome because you will keep experiencing it over and over again. The funny thing is, it doesn't have to be the same way. You can experience it in a different way entirely, but you will still experience it. Break out of your comfort zone. Break out of your comfort zone. See, the comfort zone is too comfortable and it makes a lot of people miss opportunities. Break out of your comfort zone. I don't like going out. I don't like going out. See, I started going out. Going out not because I just want to leave the house. No, I'm going out, okay, how can I actually work on my social life? Because when you don't go out, you will not have friends. Friends will not, you can have virtual friends, but you will not define friendship. You go out and meet people that you know, okay, this person is my person. This person is my friend. Even for partners as well. The imposter syndrome is not just about career. I think I've mentioned that. Push yourself to go out, go to attend parties, attend conferences. Just set your limits. Okay, I'm going out. I'm going to stay for 2 minutes. I'm going to stay for 2 hours. Go back home, but at least you have gone. At least you have gone. It's not something that would automatically just happen. You have to develop yourself into it. Break out of your comfort zone. That is where growth happens. When you experience imposter syndrome, you know there are a lot of reasons to actually embrace that, okay, this is imposter syndrome, but I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to fixate on it. So I think, yes, in conclusion, self-doubt happens to everyone. I think I've mentioned this before. It is often overachievers and perfectionists that feel most unaccomplished and out of place. So by acknowledging and addressing imposter syndrome, right, you can cultivate a more authentic and confident sense of self. You know yourself better. You don't know what imposter syndrome. People say a lot of things about imposter syndrome, but with this training you've had, you have an idea of how you experience imposter syndrome. It doesn't have to be all of those things I've identified, no. But, excuse me, you know the one that is consistent. You know the one that affects you mostly. Therapy is something that would help significantly. Imposter syndrome would reduce your self-esteem. It would make you doubt yourself over and over again. It will trigger anxiety, trigger depression, cause a lot of mental difficulties, emotional difficulties, social difficulties as well. Don't allow imposter syndrome win. Experiencing self-doubt once in a while, it is fine. It serves as a reminder and a motivator. Okay, you need to work on this. You need to start doing this. That is completely fine. Don't forget the intensity, the consistency, and persistency of all of these things is what makes it to be a disorder. Embracing your accomplishments and recognizing inherent value are pivotal steps to breaking free from the chains of self-doubt. Don't wait for one big thing to happen before you start to identify, oh, I've accomplished this, I've volunteered for 2 weeks. Yes, I'm proud of it. Oh, we wait for this. I was part of the team that planned for this outreach. I was part of the team that did this. It is an achievement. Oh, at work, I did this for my organization. I did that it is an achievement. It is not magic. It's not thing to just learn this right now, having been trained on imposter syndrome rather. And you take, okay, what can I start working on now? There is always a takeout. What can I learn? What can I start practicing now that I've learned all of these things? I don't want to constantly experience imposter syndrome over and over again. And don't forget that it is not just career. It's not just finances. It's not just friendship. It can also affect yourself, your relationship with yourself as well. Because when you start comparing yourself with your friends, oh, she has done a master's, but you had the opportunity to apply. You did not apply. You will start comparing yourself to people. Oh, she has traveled to this place. You had the opportunity to go. You didn't go. You had the opportunity to apply for a promotion. You did not apply. But those that got promoted, we entered this organization together. Oh. You start to look down on yourself. You start to self-sabotage relationships. I don't want that to start saying that I don't have what it takes. Yes, I'm dating somebody that has a lot of certificates. I have just one certificate. Imposter syndrome can just make you see, she's going to start using that against you. Just break up with her. Just break up with him. But you have the tendency, you know what you carry. You know you have the ability to push yourself to do better. Do it. Things to remember, which is the last slide. Yes. Things to remember. Imposter syndrome is not a pathological condition. It is a distorted system of belief about yourself and can have a powerful negative impact on a person's valuation of their own worth. Imposter, there's no place in the ICD or DSM-5 that tells you that imposter syndrome, oh, they are giving you a diagnosis. No. Imposter syndrome comes as a myriad, in a myriad of different things that can actually cause a mental disorder. It's more or less a contributing factor. So when you take cognizance of all of these things, it goes a long way. I don't want to start looking down on myself. I don't want to start comparing myself. Shrinking imposter monster And awakening your good self-esteem is by starting to share what you think. Challenge yourself to start posting. Challenge yourself to start talking in the board meetings, in your team meetings. Challenge yourself. You're not completely comfortable with it. You don't know how, even if you, whatever it is you want to say it. Even if it doesn't make sense. You see, there are things that you think that if I say it now, they will laugh at me, or they will not even take cognizance. It has happened to me, my boss. I'm a psychologist, she's a lawyer. There are times that she will start talking, you said, this is your psychology thing, and I'll be like, why did I even talk? Who sent me? Why did I even talk? But the fact that in as much as we are having meeting and Ololade is seated, I will still say something. It got to a point she needed to make a decision. She had to call me. And hey, I know you mentioned this in one of our meetings. What do you think? So just imagine if I had not said anything, or the first time I said something and she just shrugged it off, or she just ignored, and I just kept quiet. You have to push yourself. Even if you want to go prepare, like you want to go into a meeting prepared, okay, have an itinerary of what the meeting is about. Make your preparation. Prepare yourself. Okay, I'm going to say this. Remember, whatever it is that you want to say, make sure it is logical. Coin your words. There are ways you can say something that it makes sense, but the way you are saying it is just scattered. Prepare yourself. Coin your words, your sentences. All of these things go a long way. Imposter syndrome has everything to do with your identity and how you view yourself. When you start to look at yourself and you say, who are you? You start saying, oh, I'm a psychologist. No, that's not who you are. That's what you do. Separate your identity. Who are you, first of all? I am Ololade. I work as a psychologist. I'm a cheerful person. Those are my characteristics. Those are the things I know for myself. Do you know yourself very well? With imposter syndrome, it would, I said you can use it as a motivator. It would help you know things about yourself that you don't even know. You don't have to deal with it on your own. Consult a professional, talk to a friend, talk to a sibling about it. If you don't have anybody to talk to, as they have listeners, talk to them. This is how I feel. They might not, they would not like attend to you like a professional, like a psychologist, but they are trained. They would respond to you the way that, the response that actually suits whatever it is you are bringing to them. But don't just keep it to yourself. Because the more you keep it to yourself, the more it has an adverse effect. The more it heightens the problem. Many of us are accomplished and driven, right? But we are led to believe that who we are is what we have done. Who you are is the fact that you have volunteered. Who you are is the fact that you have a non-profit. Who you are is the fact that you are a tailor or you are a doctor. Or these are the things that you do. They are not who you are. They are part of your description. They are not who you are. A grounded sense of self and clear understanding of your strengths would fuel your self-esteem. When you know who you are as a person, I'm a very inquisitive person. I like to learn. Before this training, I entered early and I was watching a training. I was seeing the recorded version because I didn't attend physically. Every little time I'm reading something, I just want to learn. The only problem I have now is what I'm learning. I want to start practicing, and I know God will help me with that. So the thing with imposter syndrome is you can use it as a powerful motivator. And the last one here is imposter syndrome, if unaddressed, can lead to depression, low self-esteem, social isolation, and more. The more is mental difficulties in general. That's just the more. So imposter syndrome can be as a motivator. It can also be something that would actually make you lose a lot of opportunities and also cause a lot of mental difficulties. Thank you very much for listening. Any question, clarification, addition, subtraction? Thank you. And yes,
okay. You can go ahead. You are saying something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I am Ololade. I identify as a cheerful and blessed young woman. I work as a psychologist and a mental health advocate. I also love dogs. Yes, that's just a summary of who Ololade is.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ololade.
Thank
you. It's always a pleasure having you. I'm always excited if I see that you're going to speak on the topic. And thank you for your insightful presentation on the overcoming the imposter syndrome. And of course, your expertise and personal stories have shed light on a topic that we all resonate with. And we truly appreciate you. And now I would like to open the floor for questions and answers. But I'm going to begin with some questions that some people dropped while filling the form. So we have some questions here, but I believe you, in the course of your presentation, you answered some of the questions, but there's one very interesting one here. The first one is, how can people with disability overcome the imposter syndrome because of the way the society discriminates and stigmatizes them because of their disability? So the person was specific, leprosy affected persons.
That's a very good question. Because persons with disability are considered marginalized. We don't really talk about them, so I do appreciate the question. So yes, talking about imposter syndrome coming from a person with disability. All of the steps I've indicated, right? That's something you can actually start practicing. But the thing is, you need to identify yourself and tell yourself that the disability doesn't define me. The fact that I have this disability doesn't mean I cannot achieve whatever it is I want to achieve. That's just the beginning. Because you can go through all of the things I've shared earlier, and if you still have this at the back of your mind, in front of your mind, around your mind, like just moving everywhere in your mind, it's going to serve as a deterrent to actually achieving all of those things that are there. You have seen that you need to be confident, you need to acknowledge, you need to talk to somebody, you need to challenge, you need to do this, you need to do that. But if you have not actually concluded that I can do these things, it just starts with that conclusion. I recently ended a training with people. I get it to a large extent. I can't categorically say this is how they would feel, but to a large extent, I do understand. So it just starts with that acceptance that, yes, I have this disability, but it is not my limit. It does not limit me. Once you identify and start with that, every other thing that I've shared can be followed. It is difficult. It's going to take longer time, but it doesn't mean it is not possible. You just have to be consistent. Start somewhere. Start with you believing in yourself. Oh, the fact that I cannot see, the fact that I have visual impairment, it doesn't limit me. I can talk on stages. I can be the director of a big organization. I've seen it with people that have disability. It does not limit you. But if you don't work with that, if you don't have that internal dialogue with yourself, you will not be able to even start anything at all. Because that doubt will always keep coming. They will start laughing at me. They will start telling me, I will not get that opportunity. I will not get that opportunity. But try. If you apply, they did not accept you. Apply again. Spread your wings around. Apply to different organizations. You cannot say because this one did not apply you, that one will not apply you. No. You would not know if you do not try. So start with that dialogue with yourself. The fact that I have this disability, it does not limit me. I think that answers the question.
Yeah, thank you so much for that answer. And truly, one of the last things you said was, don't let imposter syndrome win. And I think that's the mindset we should carry on from here. Yeah, if you're putting up your hand, I can see you. I would just want to quickly round up the questions that was dropped on the forms. Then I'll allow you to unmute and speak. And if you don't want to speak, you can drop your question in the chat box. Then we would pick your question from there and ask. So the second question is, why do some confident people have imposter syndrome?
That's a very good question. I think I explained it already when I was presenting. So IN achievers, perfectionists, confident people, they struggle with imposter syndrome because yes, there is the fact that I'm confident, I can do it, but there is also the fact that what if I make a mistake? What if it doesn't end the way it ended the last time? That last time, I was lucky. Everything went well, the presentation and everything. But the reason why confident people mostly struggle with mostly experience imposter syndrome is the self-doubt. You have to start working on it regardless of how confident you are. Like I said, you might enter the room You are very confident. But when you see the way they are dressed, just their dressing alone will just make you feel like, I don't think I can do this. So just that. So preparing within yourself, by yourself, for yourself, that's one thing you can start with. Confident people would always derive their confidence from a particular experience they've had before. That's why I said, highlight your accomplishments, your achievements, highlight them. These are the things that will fuel your confidence. You are going to speak at a place. The fact that you are confident, you know you can do it. There is no doubt about it. But when you get there and you start to sense imposter syndrome coming from anywhere, remember that I've done this before. I've done that. In fact, you can even turn it into an affirmation. You can turn it into an affirmation. That lack of confidence would not stay for long because you have done it before. But that minute that you feel like, oh, you're not confident enough, once you start to like address that you have done it, remind yourself, it would automatically take away that self-doubt. The reason why confident people experience imposter syndrome is self-doubt. Sometimes it could be lack of preparation as well. It could be lack of preparation. You know that you can do it. I used to, therapy has helped me. I used to struggle with that before. I would wait till last minute. This slide I just did it yesterday night. I finished it this morning. The middle of the night, I finished it this morning. So it's not like something you just start to work on and you just get the difference or the effectiveness immediately. No, it takes time. But the thing is, have you started? The thing is, are you working on it? You can be very confident, though. Yes, that's very valid. But does your confidence, does it fluctuate? What are the things you have noticed? Is it lack of preparation? Is it self-doubt? Is it a combination of both? Or is there something that is injuring you? Maybe an experience with somebody or a disagreement, or you are not happy. All of these things can fuel reasons why you would experience imposter syndrome.
Okay, thank you so much. Like I said, I know you must have answered most of the questions. And this one is asking, is imposter syndrome a disease? And I know you said it's an experience and it's not even a condition. You said it's an experience. So that means it's something that can come and go once you can quickly identify and work on it. But I don't know if you want to shed more light on that. If not, we'll go to the next question.
Okay, so I think I'll just say one thing. It's not a disease, but it can lead to a disorder. It's not a disease, it's not a condition, it's not a disorder, it's not an illness. But if you don't address it, if you don't start working on it, it can lead to a disorder. And one thing is the fact that it leads to a disorder, mental illnesses can be transferred. You can inherit some mental illness or a mental illness from your parents, and you can also transfer it to your child. If you're married and you want to get married, you want to have children. So it is actually very important. I'm very keen on early intervention. Once you see something, start working on it. Don't wait for it to start affecting your job or affecting your promotion, affecting your money or your relationship. That's when you start saying, no, I want to work on this. No. Early intervention goes a long way. So the fact that it is not a disease, it doesn't mean it cannot lead to a disease or a disorder. Yeah, that's what I didn't talk to.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And the last one, which I believe you have answered again, the person was asking, how can I be comfortable with who I am? And maybe you might just shed more light on that. Probably the person didn't join early, who knows? So,
okay, so I feel like to answer that question, right, because it's kind of vague. When you say comfortable with who you are you talking about generally or in a specific area? So I would say like a very straight and direct response to that question would just be to start therapy. Therapy will help you identify the places that you're not particularly comfortable. Because if you want to be comfortable with who you are, self-compassion is there, self-love is there, what's it called? Self-efficacy, self-esteem, all of these things, they're intertwined. So I can't categorically say, okay, this is the problem that you need to start working on to be more comfortable. But just to answer, therapy is one way that can actually help you work on a lot of things, not just your emotions, a lot of, if you want to learn how to save, go to therapy. If you want to learn how to talk, go to therapy. You want to learn how to communicate, listen, go to therapy. Therapy is very, very important, and it spans across a lot of things, not just your emotions. So to be more comfortable with who you are, I think my direct response would just be to start therapy, talk to a therapist. Maybe 2-3 sessions will give you an idea of the things that you feel like you're not particularly comfortable with, then you start working on it.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. It was really an an impactful session today. And the person that was putting up his hand or her hand, I can't see it anymore. So I guess maybe in the course of, maybe the person wanted to ask the same questions I asked, maybe one of the questions. So I think with that, we're done with the question and answer session. And we're very glad and we truly appreciate you. Oh, the person is back. Okay, Matthew, let me unmute you so that you can ask, or Dewale Matthew. You can go ahead. Oh.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I also thank you for the seminar. I thank all the speakers and the co-hosts of the program. I have really learned a lot, and I have seen the relationship between imposter syndrome and maybe attaching it to some of the causes of depression and other mental illness. I am a psychiatric nurse practitioner working in a psychiatric facility here in Lagos. Although I joined the seminar deeply, so some things have actually been discussed before I came on. Is it possible for me to get a recording of the seminar?
Okay.
So
Okay. Is that your question?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, we're discussing that with the team, and hopefully you're going to get the recording. Hopefully, we're discussing that with the team.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Okay. I think Ololade is off. So I would like to pass the mic to Fatima. We're done with this question and answer session.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here with us today and for participating in our last free mental health training for the year 2024. Your dedication to improving your mental wellness and supporting others in their journey means so much to us. We encourage you to stay connected with us by following all our social media handles, which will be dropping in the comment section as I speak, where we regularly share helpful resources, updates, and more. We are already looking forward to what 2025 holds. Wishing you all a prosperous new year in advance, and we hope to see you back with us in January as we kick off another year for free monthly mental health trainings. On behalf of the entire ASAG team, I wish you all well in your mental health journey. Thank you for being part of our community, and remember, we are here for you and hope to see you in the new year 2025. Thank you all for joining, and good evening.
All right, we're done. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Ololade.
Okay, so just before we go, I think I'm willing to give free therapy sessions to 2 people that are actually very interested in working on anything that could pose to be a problem with their emotions. Free 5 therapy sessions to just 2 people. Just 2 people. So you need to just tell me why you want therapy sessions and also what do you intend to achieve. So I feel like these 5 therapy sessions would help. So if there will be need to have a psychological assessment, that would not be free, but free 5 sessions to 2 people that are interested. So I'll drop my email in the chat box so you can reach out to me if you're interested.
Okay, we'll just wait for her to drop her email address, and we'll give a little time for anyone that wants to copy before we close.
Yeah, so I just sent it. Ladevispsychologist@gmail.com. So you can reach out to me, and I am very particular about you overcoming imposter syndrome completely. I don't want it to lead to anything. So let's take advantage of this. I do this at literally training support group that I facilitate. So let's take advantage of this. It's just for those that are present here, just the participants for today's training, not outside today's training. So thank you, everyone. It's lovely meeting you all, and it's lovely seeing you again, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Same here.
I'm very happy that we've learned and learned, and we learned certain things. I've also learned as well. Thank you for sharing your experiences. For those that contributed, I really do appreciate. Thank you so much for listening. Please, let's take out 1 or 2 things that we can start doing henceforth. Don't forget, it's not just by listening. Start practicing. Do something. Thank you, everyone. Take good care of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. So bye, everyone. Have a nice night and a great week ahead.